Hi Rollians, it's Becker. Let's talk YouTube ads. This is a big mystery for a lot of people, and in this video I'm just going to tell you and show you the best way to start a YouTube ad campaign and then scale it up, let's say, to $1,000 a day. If you follow what's in this video, YouTube ads are going to be really easy. I think it's the best traffic source, especially for broad traffic. If you have an offer that's under $2,000, I think this is the best place for you to start looking at because it scales so well and you get such a broad reach when it comes to audiences. You can just blow it up like that. So what I want to do in this video is show you the exact type of targeting and audiences and type of ads you should run when you're starting it up and show you exactly how I start all my campaigns. That's it. You might be wondering, Alex, what's the catch? Here's the catch. I want you to make more money from your ads, because when you make more money from your ads, you're probably going to want to make even more money. The best way to do this is to track your ads with Hyros. And then when you combine this information with Hyros, you're going to make tons more money and upgrade your Hyros account. And therefore, we'll make more money at Hyros. So it's in our best interest to just tell you everything I know. So let's get into it. So let's just keep this nice and simple. I'm just going to dive straight into my AdWords account. And what I want to do is I want to show you some of my best targetings, my best scaling strategies, and kind of give you some insights on the type of ads I run. Though if you go below in the blog, there's literally a link to a post where I break down my exact ad script that I've been using for years. There's no opt-in, there's no anything. I'm just giving it to you. I've been using this across webinars. It's generated well over about $30 million in sales, or closing in on that at this point. Before we also get into scaling strategies as well, I just need to point this out to you because I don't know how you can scale without this, because I couldn't. You can see right now I have the Hyros Chrome extension loaded up right now, so I can just see my actual print tracking results. This is what Hyros essentially does. It allows me to actually track things that aren't going to get tracked by Google. And if you just go through here and you look at the sales calls and actual revenue coming in, this is a sales call funnel right here. So of course, Google's not going to be able to track any of the closes like Hyros can. But the most important thing to me right here when it comes to scaling is this calls column right here, because this is going to be very similar to you, whatever funnel you're running, because all that's going on here with this call funnel is this. The person clicks an ad, they opt in, and then they book a call. So this is going to be similar to you if you're running an e-commerce funnel, if you have a webinar funnel. It's going to be pretty similar because there isn't that much time between the opt-in and the call. And you can see when I go and look at my ads right here, the calls are all over the place in Google because this is because of view throughs and because of how they load up their pixel. And so you can see some ads right here. They reported 8 calls when there was actually 6, but there's actually $8,000 in sales. So I still want to keep that up. You can see another one right here where it reported 0 calls. There was actually 4 calls and it did $4,000 in literal profit. So I don't want to turn this ad off. This would be an ad that I would just shut off instantly. Okay, if I did that, you can't scale if you have an ad that's giving you a great cost per call or a great short-term conversion and a great long-term conversion. You can see this one right here. Again, 4 calls reported 3. You can see this one right here. It reported absolutely 0 calls for the $253 spent, and it actually generated me a sale, over $3,500 sale, so about $3,000 in profit. And I actually turned this off because I didn't have this funnel tracked with Hyros until early this month. So you can just see, even in my side business right here, if you're not tracking your actual stats, you're going to be turning off and turning on things that you shouldn't be. You're going to be increasing waste in account by so much. You're going to also be turning off the ads that are going to allow you to scale. So again, I'm not trying to push Hyros on you, but my first scaling technique is you have to use accurate data, because even on a funnel this simple, where there's not that much time between the click and the actual conversion, it's still being missed all the time. And then if you want to track really long-term conversions and actual LTV, which is, again, incredibly important for scale, forget about it unless you're using it. So get accurate data. I don't care how you do it, but you need to be using accurate data when you scale your ads. So I want to talk about some of my most profitable ads of all time and the targeting behind them, because I see a lot of people in Google ads, they really overcomplicate it. So let's just look at the cost. So I want to walk you through some of these ads, because all these ones, especially these top ones right here, generated at least almost $1 million in sales on their own. Let me show you the targetings you should be thinking about, because what I see a lot of people try and do is they try to overcomplicate this. They create all these different layers, they do all these different things, and the real secret and beauty of Google ads is you can go super broad. And if you know how to make your broad ads the right way, which again you can see in the script below this video and that blog post, you can go super broad and way broader than you can go on Facebook and really just target mass traffic. Perfect example of this is one of my best audiences of all time was simply just the words "make money online." Super broad. Incredibly broad audience. So why this is very different than Facebook is you really kind of target down. So if I was doing something on Facebook, or I was targeting people that want to learn the ketogenic diet or something like that, I would have to target people that want to do the ketogenic diet. Putting in just weight loss in Facebook wouldn't work too well. However, if you just put weight loss into Google, if you form your ads the right way, that can work exceptionally well. Other audiences that work super well from us. Again, you can see that it's simple audiences. And even when I'm running very specific types of offers, for example, Hyros, the ads for Hyros, it's a very specific offer that helps people track their marketing better, tracks their ad attribution better. Again, I will still target these same types of audiences because I will then also be feeding this data back to the Google AI so it knows what to look for. So you can really use the Google AI, especially with offline conversions, to target a lot better. Again, you can do that with Hyros as well. Again, don't let me pitch you anything right here. However, when I go look at this audience right here, you can see this is a giant audience. The advertising and marketing audience. You can see the actual size of this audience is 1 billion to 5 billion impressions weekly. So it's just absolutely huge. Again, when you're feeding the Google Pixel your data back via offline conversions, it can make these type of audiences work because it goes and looks at this broad audience, looks at all your conversions coming in, and then is able to find your customers just much cheaper. So the second type of audience that I really like to use on top of big, giant keyword audiences is these specific audiences that are based around in-market audiences. And so the way you really want to figure those out is if you actually go and upload all your conversions, for example, into Google. And I just want to go look at my buyers. All right, so I have a big list of buyers right here, or heck, just people that have registered. I can see some audiences at the top that I might be able to target that are in-market audiences. And if you have good offline conversion data being passed in and you use these audiences, these have worked super well for us, especially when it comes to scaling. Okay? So this has been incredible for us to scale with. Affinity audiences, I'm not the biggest fan of. I usually don't see as good as results as I do in-market audiences. However, you should maybe test these as well. Again, I don't think I'm going to do too well targeting fight and wrestling fans. However, there's a few of them, like maybe avid business news readers, that I might want to go and target. The final type of audiences I really love to use, and it's almost exclusively these three types of audiences that I'm showing you in this video, is going to be intent audiences. And the way I make intent audiences, again, I'm just going to use keywords, big, simple keywords to make these intent audiences. And the way intent audiences work is I'm just going to go, how an intent audience works is if I go and look at this, you can create custom audiences and you can put in keywords that your target market would be searching for. So the way that keyword audiences work, at least from my experience, Google never really explains this very well. And I think a lot of the ways that they work is not secretive. I just don't think anybody knows except the engineers, and the engineers aren't sharing exactly how it works. So keyword audiences are going to target people searching for that exact keyword and pages that have those keywords on them on YouTube, for example. If I go and do intent audiences, it's going to target people that have been searching for those keywords or have been searching for similar things. So when a person types in how to make money online, how to make more money, earn money online, they get added to this intent audience. It shows what they have been searching for online. This works exceptionally well for me. And so using those three types of audiences I just showed you, that's almost exclusively how I scaled a single information offer to over multiple 8 figures in sales. Okay, well over $20 million in sales. And I want to show you, again, that was kind of a more broad offer. Okay, so if I actually go and look at like the last 7 days, okay, and I go and look at some of my better performing ads, you're going to see I'm doing almost the same exact thing. Big, massive, broad keywords. Now, YouTube advertising isn't the biggest or massivest broad keyword, but you can see I'm only putting one keyword per group. I'm doing the same exact strategy. And the reason why you want to do this is because if you put in multiple keywords per group, what's going to happen is what you're going to see right here. You're going to see that one keyword is going to dominate the entire thing. You can see almost all my ad spend is going to this keyword right here. I know these keywords right here get more traffic and generate more traffic than just this keyword, but it's going to go to the default one that has the most traffic. What I also like to do with my keyword audiences, this is just a little tip, is I like to grab the titles from YouTube videos that I want to target and then throw them in there. So we'll also go and target similar YouTube videos. You can also see what I love to do is I love to target people that watch my channel. So if I have videos on specific things, I'll just target people who've watched those videos. That's not necessarily a cold traffic strategy, but it does work very, very well. Another thing you can do that works really well in certain niches is you can do placements. Now, here's the key to placements. A lot of people can't ever get their placements to start, so I'm going to give you just a little bonus tip right here. When you're doing placements, what you want to do is you want to, of course, go and grab all your placements online. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use channels. I use actual YouTube videos. So I'll go search for videos on YouTube and then I'll throw them all in here. You can also do this by selecting this in here and then typing in just a keyword for the video. So if I typed in Facebook ads. Now the problem with this is it sometimes gives you videos that can't be monetized. So you definitely want to add as many as you possibly can. What I like to also do is that this isn't that great for this, is I like to go and actually find trending videos with these keywords on, because these won't always show up first when you search for them. You want to find the videos that just got put online, because then you'll be able to get a placement on them that other people aren't specifically targeting. For example, if I type in Facebook ads right here, pretty much everyone and their dog who has ever wanted to advertise to marketers is targeting these videos and put a placement on these videos. So the way you get these to spend, and the reason why they won't spend most of the time, is because you want to do cost per view marketing. So what does that mean? It means when we go to the settings of our ad, you don't want to do automated bidding, which is what I do on most of my ads. That works just fine. What you want to do is maximum CPV, and you want to crank that up. Okay, and so that means it's going to spend as much as it possibly can to get that view. And that's because most people are trying to do the minimum CPV, and they're trying to do other biddings where they control it. And because of that, because there's so many people bidding on those very limited placements, it's very competitive. And so you might as well just spend what YouTube is going to require you to spend. That works really well for me. Finally, other audiences that work well are intent audiences. So you can see this one right here. Paid traffic intent has a pretty good cost per call. Again, you can see I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm using the same exact type of strategies that I did before. Okay, so you can see I'm just targeting the keyword paid traffic, Facebook ads, Google ads, how to advertise ads, YouTube ads. And so that worked really well for me as well. And so these audiences, this is my side business, not our main Hyros ads. And so I'm not going to be giving away all my targeting and everything that I use for Hyros ads. But you can see my strategies and how I think about things overall. And this is what I've used to scale a straight up broad offer to multi 8 figures in sales. This is also what I've used to scale a very targeted B2B offer, which is Hyros, and then also a B2B offer, which is our YouTube ad consulting program, Iron, which I kind of do as a side business. And so what I'm going to do when it comes to scaling on YouTube is, first off, I'm going to use the ad strategies and ad templates that you can see below this video. All right, there's going to be a bunch of ad templates you can use. You can check them out. It's going to show you exactly how I write my ads. I'm not going to talk about this in this video because there's literally a 20-minute video that walks you through all my best converting ads of all time. Okay, so check that out below when you get done here. But when I scale, what I'm going to do to start off my ads and then scale my ads is I'm going to start with these intent audiences, these in-market audiences, these single keyword audiences, max CPV placements, and that's really where I'm going to stop at. If I have an offer that applies to people that watch my YouTube channel, which, for example, my YouTube channel is mostly self-help and motivation at this point, so it doesn't really do very well with Iron or Hyros ads. It doesn't do that well. It doesn't kill it. If I open up a beginner make money online offer or a self-help offer, it would kill it. So make sure the people watching your channel are relevant to it. It's not just going to work because people know you. So you can do retargeting with people that watch your YouTube channel. And that can work really well as well. You can also do lookalike audiences, which are called similar audiences on YouTube. And those will be automatically generated for you. And you can go and reach those just by going, if I go look at these ads right here, I'm going to go to audiences. And then you can go browse your audiences, and they'll be automatically created whenever you make any type of list there is. So if I go look at YouTube users, you can see that I can go and select people that are similar people that view my channel or similar people that have bought something in the past. However, these similar audiences are way more hit and miss than the lookalike audiences on Facebook. Okay, so you have to understand that about them as well. They sometimes work, they sometimes don't. Usually the broader your offer, the better they work. It doesn't necessarily work that amazingly well for a call offer. I really like just intent keyword audiences and really passing that offline conversion data back to AdWords using Hyros. That's absolutely key for call offers or really specific offers. So that being said, what I'm going to do when I start these offers, I'm just going to put $30 a day on all of these. You can use less than that if you want. I don't, because I can frankly test things. I'd rather get testing done quickly instead of spending $5 a day and waiting a week to see if something works or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put $30 a day on all of these. If it's a e-commerce offer or a straight to sale offer, I want to see the results right away. If I spend $30 and my product is $20, I want to see a few conversions at least on that $30, or at least 1 or 2 conversions. Let me know I'm on the right track. If it's a webinar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my CPL. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that I have, at least if I'm going broad with a webinar, which is the only time you should be using webinars on YouTube. I'll talk about how to do B2B on YouTube here in a second, but I want to see about the $7 CPL of a person opting in a webinar. That's when I know I'm going to do pretty good right there. And of course, CPL doesn't really matter. You want to look at the actual sales. And the reason why you want to do that is, again, here's a perfect example. CPL isn't really that relevant of a stat. Sales are a relevant stat. And you can see most of the time, Google's not going to catch your sales on a webinar, for example. Here's a webinar, one of the ones I scaled to 8 figures. You can see most of the time, the revenue that was tracked by us and the revenue that was reported by Google is way off, right? It missed a $2,000 sale here, missed a sale here, missed a sale here, missed a sale here. Out of 22 high-ticket sales, Google was only able to catch, I believe in this example, about 11 of them. So if I'm scaling based on that data and only looking at CPL, I'm going to do all sorts of crazy stuff, like scaling ads that have great CPL but no sales, and I'm going to be killing ads that have a bad CPL or a bad cost per lead and have great sales. So you want to look at the actual sales data, especially with webinars and call funnels. Holy moly. Now, if I'm going to be doing a call funnel, what I'm going to look at is, again, I'm going to look at the CPL. And then because it's a little bit easier to get calls than it is a webinar sale, you don't have to be as long-term focused. I'm going to look at that cost per call as well. Okay, but usually for B2B offers, I want to see a $150, or at least for my offers, $150 to $300 cost per call. And if I see that on ad, I know it kind of works. But again, I want to look at the overall conversions of the ad and make sure it's making me profit long term. Because I can tell you all sorts of times I've seen people bidding, getting a great cost per call, spending tens of thousands of dollars on calls, look great cost per call wise, and then no sales are generated. So it's like, hey, all your calls are actually coming from another ad with the more expensive cost per call. So I'm going to put $30 on all these. And when I see good CPLs on webinars and call funnels, I'm going to start cranking up maybe to $50 to $80 a day. When I start seeing a good cost per call, I'm going to crank it up a little bit more. And then when I start seeing sales and an ROI, that's when I'm really going to start cranking it up. Now, the way I'm going to go and increase my ad spend is I'm going to go from, if it's sub $250 a day, I'm just going to increase 100%. So 30 to 60, 60 to 120, 120 to 240. Okay, because you're not going to max out or burn out your ads too quickly doing that. You're not going to hit the peak on many ad sets. Now, past $240 a day, that's when you start to hit the peak on audiences on AdWords, at least some of the time. So I'm going to increase by 50% at that point. So I'm going to go 240 to 360. Okay, and if CPL and cost per call hold, then I'm going to go 360 to around 500. So I'm going to increase by 40, 50% every single day. Then what I'm going to do once I get past $500 a day is I'm going to increase by 25% every day. Now I'm not going to use hard math right here because I'm not going to do it. But if I was going right here, I'd go from maybe $500 to $650 a day. $650 to maybe $800 a day. $800 to $1,000 a day. And I'm going to usually increase by 25% until the CPL goes crazy. That's usually your best indicator on webinars and call funnels if you're maxing out the audience. If the CPL goes crazy, you either need to lower it back down or you need to improve your ads and your opt-in rates. Okay, CPL is not the end all. It's not the only thing that matters. But if your CPL goes from $5 to $15, you're going to see your cost per call go up. You're going to see your conversions go down just by default. That literally you're paying 3 times more per lead. Okay, and so the thing you also need to realize is, let's imagine we're at $500 a day, and then we go to $1,000 a day, and we see a $5 to $15 increase. I see people do this all the time. They brag about their ad spend, but they're not actually tracking their sales or whatnot. That's the first thing I see. People, they're not tracking their long-term sales. A perfect example is this. When I was scaled up to about $25,000 a day, I could have actually reduced by about $10,000 a day and kept the same ROI. And that was because I wasn't tracking my actual sales. So just keep that in mind. But next, if you go $500 to $1,000 a day and your CPL triples, you're actually getting less people in here than you are here. So you got to keep that in mind as well. And so that's what to look for. So those are the audiences I use. That's the scaling strategies and how I bid. And if you want to look at the ad templates, they're right below. That also being said, Look, if you want to track your sales and get all that accurate sales data that I talked about, go below, book a call with us, check out Hyros. We'll do a full demo for you. It's not going to be a pushy sales pitch, and we'll show you exactly how to track your specific business model. We are very familiar with e-commerce, webinars, sales call funnels, and we'll show you exactly how we can make you a lot more money from your ads. Usually when people come on, they're able to increase their ads by at least 20 to 30%. You're going to see way more results and all the huge clients we've tracked on Hyros, because that's the baseline result that people get. Again, we also have a 90-day refund guarantee. So if you don't see the results I've talked about in this video, you don't pay. You should go do that if you're going to run Google Ads, because Google ad tracking is not great. And then you can also pass Hyros data back to Google Ads to make its AI way better at finding you customers, which is key. On top of that, if you want to see more about my YouTube ad strategies, you want to get coaching on it, you want to get the same, heck, you just want to copy and paste my funnels and see everything I'm doing, go book a iron consultation call below. You can hop on with me. We'll go through my ads, we'll go through your business, and I'll tell you the exact type of targeting you should be using, the exact type of funnel you should be using, the exact type of offers you should be running as well. Again, on these videos, I'm not particularly holding anything back, but there's no way I can make a cookie cutter video that works for every single business online. You need something specific if you actually want to go and crush it at YouTube ads. So go book an iron consultation below and we'll do that. And if you're a good fit, you can even come into our program, and we have more 6, 7, and 8-figure results than any YouTube ad program online. So it's a good place to be. That being said, also go and join the Facebook forum for Hyros below. We have over 40 million a month in ad spend in our community in there. So it's a great place to be if you're a media buyer, because we have pretty specific qualifications to join. You have to be spending significant ad spend. If you're not, it's not really the group for you. It's not for beginners. It's for experienced media buyers only. So across almost 2,000 members, we have $40 million in ad spend. So that's how we keep that ratio pretty high. That being said, be sure to watch your email, because we're constantly sending out new trainings to our Hyros community. And be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you get updated whenever I post new videos, because all I do is post awesome training for Hyros members here, because I want you guys to scale your ads so you get some more Hyros. So that being said, this has been Becker. I will catch you in the next video. There's a few videos you can actually check out right after this, right now.